What's up, SC Nation? I want to shoot a quick video with the whole COVID-19 situation going on, and I want to say congratulations. Now you're an inside sales engineer. So you get to stay home all day and work. Uh, hey guys, new Ramsey popping in 2 seconds into the old video. I realize I'm saying COVID a lot, and I know it's COVID, but I'm trying to mix Corona and COVID together and came out as COVID. Lucky for us, a lot of us sales engineers can do our job remotely. I know a lot of inside sales engineers end up being in a room with other inside sales engineers working together, but this is how remote SEs usually work anyways. Now, I want to talk about working from home. And if you haven't worked from home before, well, there are pros and cons to all of it. And that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons. I am also going to talk about things that you should be doing while you're working from home. So let's start with the pros. Number one pro for me is no commuting. And I think that goes for a lot of people. I live in Ottawa, which is not a very busy town, but it takes me at least 25 minutes when there is no traffic in the morning to get home, and at least 30 minutes to come back home in the afternoon, because there's always some form of traffic. So it's not that bad, but that half hour is huge, really, and you can use it to do a lot of different other things than just drive around. Although the con that comes with that is that I don't get to listen to podcasts in the car while I'm driving. So now I have to set time aside to listen to podcasts. Listen to this podcast, to the We the Sales Engineers podcast, by the way, if you're not listening to it. Set time aside to listen to that, because I really want you guys to enjoy that and maybe learn something from the podcast from the people that come on the show. Anyways, so that's pro number one, con number one. Pro number two is you don't have any colleagues distracting you anymore. You're focused, you're sitting at home. And by the way, there is this myth that you need more self-discipline or motivation to work from home. In my humble opinion, it is a myth. You just need a purpose. Whether you're at home or at work, you need a purpose. If you have something to work for, to strive for, you will work for that. If you don't, whether you're at home or in the office, you're gonna find ways to distract yourself. At home, you can turn on like Netflix and watch. At work, you can put on YouTube on a separate screen and watch. Or you can go to the cooler and start talking to everybody who would listen. So when people say that you need more motivation to work from home, that is not true. Don't think about it that way. You just have work to do and you do it. On the contrary, if you run out of things to do, you can actually take a break easier than sit behind a desk and do nothing. All right, so as I was saying, pro number two is there are no colleagues distracting you. I don't talk and you get distracted, and I worked for smaller companies where there's usually 2 or 3 people in the office, so that's also dependent on the company you're in. But with that, no distractions from colleagues, there's also the fact that you can't just walk over to a colleague and ask a question. Now you have to go through Slack, Jabber, whatever software that you use to ask them a question. You actually have to pick up the phone and call people, which as sales engineers shouldn't be as hard as we would think. So there is that. Another pro is you have more focused time. You're not doing that commute, so now you have that time to actually half hour in the morning, at least for me, half hour in the afternoon, that I can do other things with. So, I don't have to be as distracted and I can focus a little bit more. The con with that is, although you have more focused time, you don't have any colleagues walking up behind you and start talking to you. Today on 3 different calls, I've had my son walk into the room with me. He was very polite about it. He knocked and he cracked the door, and I gave him the signal I'm on the phone, which for a 4-year-old, I can't believe he understood that. He walked away. So that was fine. And this is more valid now with COVID than it is usually, because my children are in school and in daycare, and my wife is doing her own thing, working. She's working on her own stuff. So it's usually not that bad if you're under normal circumstances. With COVID, things might be different. So there is that family distractions that happens. So, and then we go back to the pro. No more expense reports. I don't need to do an expense report for a while. I'm not doing any car mileage. I'm not taking customers out to lunches or dinners. That's again specifically with Corvid. But yeah, I don't have to do that. So I don't know why I'm so happy about it. There is no con for that. Well, the con is that I'm not meeting customers anymore, I guess. Yeah, that is the con. I don't get to go see customers. I don't visit customers. I can control interruptions now. That's another pro. So a con is like you get Slack overload or Jabber overload. Everybody's messaging you. Everybody wants something from you more than usual. Although I used to work from home, but now it's a lot more people are messaging me because they don't see me as much. But I get to control it. I have like if I'm in a meeting or if I need to do something that requires focus, I put it on my calendar and Jabber in my situation automatically sees that I am busy. I'm in a meeting. It tells people that I'm in a meeting. So I don't feel bad not answering them. What else? Too much isolation. You're pretty much like I work from home, but I go out and visit customers, so there it's not that bad. But now I'm just on my own. I'm home. I have my family upstairs. By the way, if you can afford to set your own room up, you can do so. Otherwise, set a corner for yourself in your bedroom, maybe, just so you can close the door. It's better than working in the kitchen or the couch with the kids running around with Corvid. So yeah, they're not running around with Corvid. It's with the situation of Corvid that means they're home and running around. I guess I have to clarify that. All right. So what you can do in order to do your job better or not go nuts. One, if you can do meetings with your colleagues, right? I saw a picture of a friend of mine or an acquaintance of mine at F5, and they had like a after work beer. Almost everybody had beer. One guy had a beer and a camera and snapped a picture of everybody on Skype or whatever it is. I can't remember the software they're using. So you can do that with your colleagues. But if you really want to be professional about it, a tip is to put like a smiley face on a sticky note and stick it to your camera so you can actually look at the camera and not like when I'm looking here at myself on the video. Now I'm looking at the camera. So you put a sticky note behind there so you can actually focus on that. So put a sticky note. Reach out to your customers. I know that everybody's busy, but right now it seems that almost everybody has a little bit more time to answer emails. So reach out to your customers. Don't try to sell them anything. Be genuinely interested in how they're doing. Almost everybody I talk to is interested in talking to me and telling me how they're doing, and they're asking about me. I'm asking about them, and for those that I am expecting an update, they automatically update me because they're already thinking of me, so they just send me a quick update. So there's that. And you can either email, phone, set up a WebEx or a Zoom meeting just to have a chat, just to say hi. Like, why not? I've done that. I haven't done the Zoom meeting things, but I've called and I've emailed, and people tell me about themselves, and everybody's doing okay. So that's great. Take time to improve, whatever it is that you want to improve. You have half hour in the morning, half hour in the afternoon that are extra. You also not go in between customer sites, so there's that's adding a little bit smaller increments of time that you can use to your benefit. So take the time to improve, whether it's learning a new skill, technologies, health. Like you have half hour to go for a walk. Go for a walk. Don't like go outside. That's another thing you can do. But also improve your relationships with your family members. You're stuck at home with them all day, and it's your chance to improve it, to see your children a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with that. I know, like I've heard of people receiving emails saying that now you're working from home. Make sure you're not spending a lot of time with your family, or like something to that effect, maybe, or your focus should be at work, not at taking care of your family, which is weird because if there's a two-parent household and they're both working, whose job is more important? So people will have to sacrifice and take time to take care of the family while they're still doing as much work as they can. But take the time to actually improve that relationships with your children. And when they're crying, go up and check out why they're crying. I'm pretty sure my son's crying because he hasn't watched Paw Patrol yet. So yeah, go outside, and don't worry if kids interrupt you. I saw this video. I'm gonna actually try to put a snippet of it. You have a guy doing an international interview with someone, and their kids walk in, and he just tries to push them away or whatever. It was just a funny video, and he got famous after that. He built some humanity. I've heard people in the middle of a meeting just flat out flip out on their children because they walked in the room or they said something or the dog is barking outside. It's You're human, and now is the time to show your humanity with the current situation. I mean, under normal circumstances, kids are at school or whatever it is, you don't see that as much. But because of where we are right now in this crazy world, it's okay that kids walk into your office. Just now, one, they know you're human, you're not a robot, and two, just take a second to they send them out. Like, you don't have to put them on your lap and continue working. No, send them out, but don't freak out. That's the big thing. Do not freak out if your kids come and interrupt you, and set time aside for distractions. Like, if you're always busy, like if you keep getting Jabber messages and you're focused on something, set time aside to look at those Jabber messages or Slack messages or emails. And respect other people's time. Just because you can't see what they're doing doesn't mean they're not doing anything. So if you keep bombarding them with messages, they will bombard you back at some point where you hope they don't. So that's it for me, guys. I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope you guys are staying safe, doing that social distancing thing, whatever it's called. So good luck, and I hope to see you guys soon. Peace.